Durdle magic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Durdle Magic. Real quick, let's take a look at our opening hand here. We are definitely mulliganing that. So, yeah. Oh, better hand. 3 lands, couple removal. We do have a bunch of 3 and 2 drops in the deck, so I think this will be keepable. We do need eventually another white and another red source, but I think we can keep this. Today, we are trying out Akim the Soaring Wind, 2 blue, red, white for a legendary bird dinosaur 3/4. Flying whenever you create 1 or more tokens the first time each turn. Create a 1/1 white bird token creature with flying. 3 blue, red, white creature tokens you control gain double strike till end of turn. So, notably, Smothering Tithe creates treasure tokens on other people's turns. If they don't pay the 2, you get a bird then. Our first opponent plays a Temple Garden, and they are using Umori the Collector as a companion. 2 Golgari. Companion, each non-card in your starting deck shares a card type, so we'll have to see what that is. When it enters the battlefield, choose a card type. Spells of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. We'll check their general in a minute. We draw Dusk to Dawn. So let's go ahead and do the Temple of Epiphany, get that scry out of the way. See if there's any more lands on top we should keep there, or if we need to scry something away. We'll scry away Imprison in the Moon. We will need more lands. Pass it off to our opponents. Alright, so Nethroi, Apex of Death is their actual commander. 2 white, black, green, 5/5 Cat Nightmare Beast. Mutate for Selesnya black. Death Touch lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'm guessing it's going to be all creatures in that deck. Verdant Catacombs and Cracked for our next opponent. And our next opponent is Damia, Sage of Stone. Haven't seen this one in a long while. 4 black, green, blue for a legendary Gorgon Wizard 4/4. Death Touch, skip your draw step. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. If I remember correctly, it was built with a lot of cheap stuff, and you just refilled your hand and grinded out value that way. I don't rightly remember. It's been a very long time. Our next competitor is Arvad the Cursed. 3 white, black for a legendary Vampire Knight. 3/3. Death Touch lifelink. Other legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. So probably a legendary deck. Could also be vampires, I suppose. There are a lot of legendary vampires. Essence Symbiote down for Nethroi. 1 green, 2/2. Whenever a creature you control mutates, put 1 counter on that creature and you gain 2 life. Alright. Pretty good little lord type effect there. We draw the Locust God. Still want some lands here. Let's go ahead and play the other card waste. Keep removal up. Pass it to our opponents like that. The deck has 4 mana rocks and 38 lands in it, so we should be getting some lands here right quick. End of our turn, Damia does Vampiric Tutor. That's never a good sign, at least in my opinion. I guess that at least they lose 2 life. Howling Mine coming down for Damia, Sage of Stone. Howling Mine triggers. We will just assume that keeps happening until it's destroyed. I could use the extra card draw though. I do like drawing extra cards. Elvish Mystic into play for the Apex player. Alright, Apex is attacking with the Symbiote into the Arvad the Cursed player. Comes to our turn. Card for the Howling Mine is going to be a Steer Command. Alright. Oh, there we go. Mountain time. Let's go ahead and play that mountain. Still nothing at 3 though. Starting to wonder about the deck sometimes. Let's roll it on over to our opponents. This one's fairly new. I tested out another version over and over again, but just couldn't get to do what I wanted it to do. So, sad face. Let's go ahead and get rid of Dusk to Dawn. I don't think that's going to help us too much against the Apex. Wishclaw Talisman. First time I've seen that in an actual game. In case you're unfamiliar with it, 1 black, it enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. 1 tap, remove a wish counter from it, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library, and opponent gains control of it. Activate this ability only during your turn. They are in fact activating it. I hope we get it. I'm fine with that. I'd probably give it off to Arvad. It seems like the Apex is going to be fine. Arvad gets the Wishclaw Talisman. Let's see if they do anything with it. Sky Hunter Cub coming down. As long as it's equipped, it gets 1/1 and has flying. Maybe it's an equipment deck. I don't know. I'm interested in finding out, however. Fertilid coming down for the Apex player. Good little card. Reprinted in Ikoria, I believe. Fertilid has an activation. They'll go get a land. Symbiote into us. Alright, at least they're spreading it around. All nice and friendly like. We'll just take the 2. Alright, we get Evolving Wilds and Sacred Foundry. There's some lands. Alright, let's see what we can do with them. Nothing really at 4 that I want to copy, so I don't feel like playing any other land right now. We still have white up for removal, so let's go get Evolving Wilds into play. And try to balance our colors here. It looks like we're going to need white, so let's go get a Plains. And pass it off like that. Still not drawing too many of the low drops. I had this problem in one of my other tests where I got nothing but 5 drops. That game didn't go so well, but what can you do? Alright, we have to discard. We can discard Vizier of Many Faces. We can always pull that back out with its Eternalize or Embalm mechanic. So we'll just do that later. Umori of the Open Fist. That's not something I ever expected to see. Alright, I gotta read this one off. Let's let it resolve first, though. Each opponent may put a legendary creature card from their hand onto the battlefield. We only have one. We're gonna draw some hate. Ishan's Shade. Interesting. Definitely drawing some hate. I can feel it. The ripples in the magical force. So anyway, in case you couldn't guess, Umori of the Open Fist, 2 green, 5/5 trample. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent may put a legendary creature card from their hand onto the battlefield. Basically means we're all target fodder, but I wanted to get that down just in case. The tokens will be really nice once we get our commander out, and if it sticks, it'll be a fun game. Onsera's Wings coming down. Oh, okay, so it'll make it legendary. It also gets 1/1 Flying, Vigilance, and Lifelink. Nice. Skyhunter Cub going into the Apex player. Doesn't seem like they have anything to do, so it looks like it's going to be a solid 3 damage. Yep, 3's good. Turn's rolling over. Mind Warper. Yeah, let's see what that does real quick. 2 black for 0/0, enters the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it. 2 black, remove a counter from it, target player discards a card, activate this ability only time. Oh, you can cast a sorcery. Spring Broom Druid, enters the battlefield, sacrifice land. If you do, get 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield, tap, shuffle your library. So Horror with a body. I don't like that discarding guy. I don't like him at all. Ew. Notably, since it's a 0/0 all other places, the Apex can get it back for free. It's kind of like somewhat slower Shirei, almost. Kind of interesting. Alright, we have some triggers. We'll get a draw, and we'll get a little insect boy. Alright, more lands. Now I hope we draw something else. Go figure, right? Let's get down, I think we'll get down the Temple of the False God. I want to get the extra mana down in case we want to cast something at 6. Let's go ahead and get our commander down and leave the white up for possible removal. And I think that'll be good. Let's go combat, and we'll pink each of our opponents on the side here that don't have a lifelink flyer for 1. Alright, damage is good. Let's roll it over to the opponents. Demonic Tutor for Damia. I wonder what they're doing. Harpy of Spring. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana of any type that land produced. I was starting to wonder if it was like a group hug deck in an all kind of weird way. Alright. Too bad we don't have much to do with it. We can use the Locust God to draw and discard some cards. That might be something we can do if we keep drawing lands. The Double Strike from our commander will also be relevant. Nothing to cast really though, where that mana matters that much, so we'll have to wait and see. The other players may be doing something interesting. We do have Vizier of Many Faces in the graveyard. Profane Insight, they draw a card and lose 1 life. They also are currently floating a casual 7 mana. Nothing to worry about here. Arvad coming down for that player. So their creatures will each get 2/2. They are quite large. Falmar Knight coming down. Okie doke. 1/1 Death Touch. Good enough. Wonder if there's other things in the deck that make it legendary. I would bet there are. Wishclaw Talisman being activated. They're going to go get something. I hope they give it to us. That'd be nice. They give it back to Damia. Alright. At least it didn't go to the Apex. Apex getting slammed by the Pro White and the 5/5 flyer. Let's see what they do about it. Alright, 5 damage in the air is good. They did chump block the shade, so no damage there. Necropanther. Nice art. 1 white-black, 3/3. Mutate to Orzhov. Whenever this creature mutates, return a creature card with a converted mass cost 3 or less from graveyard to the battlefield. So a nice little recursion onto a creature. Essence Symbiote will trigger. Necropanther will trigger. What did they mutate onto? The Fertilid. Alright. They're getting back Springbloom Druid. Whoops. Not the general. They'll go get another land by sacking another. Nice little deck they have going. Soul of the Harvest coming down for the Apex. That's a pretty good solid green drop. 6 drop for green, rather. I use it whenever I can. Oracle of Moldiah coming down. Alright, ramp and card draw and recursion. Almost got everything there. Spike Weaver. Ooh, piece of candy. Campy Vista on top. Yep. Woodland Cemetery now on top. Wood Elves now on top. Wall of Blossoms coming down. Another thing they can get back for free. Wood Elves, more ramp. Alright, they activate the Necropanther / Fertilid. They'll go get a land. We start getting our triggers. Hopefully, nope. Not getting anything. That's unfortunate. I was hoping we could run into any of our protect our butt from board wipe spells. There's 3 or 4 in the deck. Unfortunately, we did not. That board's gonna need some answering pretty soon, I'm sure. But in the meantime, we have to wait. So let's go ahead and play the Windstar Drag. It'll come into play tapped. We'll get a life though, and you never know when the 1 life matters. Alright, I think we stay put for now. Let's roll it over to our opponents. Keep mana up for removal. Keep mana up for the Locust God's ability. Discard a land or 2. And see where we go from there. We did draw Shark Typhoon, so that'll be pretty good. Alright, let's discard something. I think we're gone red and white, so getting rid of Sacred Foundry is not too bad. I want to keep the Bonder's Enclave just in case we want some card draw later on. Wishclaw Talisman being activated. Wishclaw Talisman going over to the Apex player, but it's out of counters. New Frontiers X equals 8. Each player may search his or her library for X basic land cards and put them on the battlefield tapped. Then each player who searches the library this way shuffles it. Oh my god. Well, okay then. Alright, that resolves. We get a bunch of basics. The person who cast it, I don't see any basics on theirs though. Each player draws 2 cards. I guess I can live with that too. I kind of like this Damia group hug deck, but I wonder what their endgame is. Triggers for us, we get a bunch more tokens. Seems pretty good. I see. They used the interface wrong and didn't get their lands out. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, it's not the most, what is it, intuitive interface? Takes some learning. Yep, looks like Ravenclaw's out of it for now. We'll have to see if they actually quit. That'd be too bad. I also hate that we are the last person to go after them with all the extra mana and everything else. It's not the best. I'm wondering if this will be a Debt to the Deathless. If it is, that was what, 28, so it will hit us for 24. A Chroma's Memorial. That's not as bad. Helm of the Host. That's kinda bad. Equipped to Arvad. That means more anthems, not to mention anthems for each other Arvad. Champion's Helm. That's a card you don't see very often, and it's quite expensive in paper. Parhelion 2. That's an interesting choice. It is legendary, so that works out. Parhelion is getting crude. It will make some angel tokens. That might be something we should consider for this deck. Let's read it. 6 white for a currently 7/7, but I believe it's a 5/5 base. Flying First Strike Vigilance without the other things. Whenever it attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking for the crew. So something to consider maybe at this high end, but we're making a lot of tokens that we aren't responsible for, so I'm wary of adding it. Parhelion will trigger. Let's see where things are heading. Everything into the Apex player. Somebody did mention the symbiote earlier, so maybe they know something I don't. Apex is down. I'm not even sure if the Damia player is still there, so I think this is one-on-one. That does make things a little bit easier. Tranquil Cove for the first draw. Not my favorite. Sky Knight Vanguard. Just can't seem to get the Save Our Butt from board wipes cards. I kind of want to do that, but oh well. Let's dig for it. Clifftop Retreat into play. Or not. There we go. Damia Sage of Stone is gone. Alright, so let's go ahead and activate this. Now we don't have double mana, which is sadness. We didn't even get to use that because I was holding up for the removal. Really, really sad. But what can you do? Alright, let's try it again. Hammer of Pulveros. That's a card. We're not going to deal enough damage to them, though, even with Double Strike, because we have, what? So that'd be 20 damage plus 6? Good otherwise, but I think we're still on the... We have to blow the board. Well, let's get into combat and see where we can go. They do have a 7/7 flyer. Let's get rid of that first, I think. Path, it's gone. They get a land. All their guys still fly, so that is problematic. I think we have to blow the austere command, save the tokens, and then deal with the angels? I think that's what we're on right now. Locust God will come back, and we have more than enough mana to recast our commander, so I think that's the plan. Let's go ahead and go for it. Let's make sure we do this right. Let's see, destroy all creatures with 4 or greater converted mana cost, and destroy all artifacts. Yes. Even that up pretty nicely. Now if we really need to, we can use Blasphemous Act. Let's get to the attacks. Alright, there we go. Alright, they take 8, we lose 2 insects. Fair trade to me. Let's get the Locust God back at the end of turn. We have to discard, I think, Bonder's Enclave? Nah, let's discard the Mountain and... Alright, we win. I don't know what they had in hand. I hope they reveal it to us. So, good game to our opponents. Damia with the group hug thing. That seemed pretty good. Sorry about that interface snafu. Nethroi was out of control there for a minute, and I guess Arvad was onto them. Somebody, if they want to explain the symbiote thing to me, feel free to do that in the comments, so I'm more prepared next time. This deck worked a lot better than last time, but we had a lot of help, so in the next game we'll see if it actually runs. Again, good game to our opponents. It was fun. Thanks for tuning in to Durdle Magic. If you like the content you saw here today, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that like button, and if you could be so kind, please share the video to anyone who you think might be interested. And remember, you can follow our posts at Facebook and at Twitter at DurdleMTG. We also post the video links there, so if that's more of your forum, Durdle around with us and enjoy some magic. Until then, see you around.